Hello one, hello all. Yes, it is I, the amazing Mr. Scuba Stitch. Alright, I'm done. I'm sorry. It's just that today we're here to talk about a movie called The Cure for Wellness. If you're somebody... Alright, now I'm done. It's just that I found that fake microphone in my room and I thought, hey, why not use it? Anyway, whatever. A Cure for Wellness. I don't have anything to say about the movie going into it because I didn't really know much about it. When I was in the theater, I kind of tried to avoid all the trailers that came up for it. I just knew that it was starring Dane DeHaan and the man that directed the Ring movie and some of the Pirates movies. My initial thought was definitely something weird, and I kind of just sat there after the movie was over, kind of taking things in, figuring out what I actually thought of this movie because it kind of ended on a bit of a downer. But I do like the journey that this movie kind of took me on. Alright, let's start with some of the good of this movie. Dane DeHaan does a very good job in his performance in this movie. It's been a while since we've seen him kind of take on a movie on his own where he's kind of the star role. So yeah, good to see him in this type of role. It's not anything extravagant, but I do like his performance in this movie. It's pretty solid. I can't deny the style of this movie, and this movie is very much a style over substance movie. That said, dope visuals, great shots in this movie, some very cool landscape shots. They do a very good job with that, and I kind of feel like what the movie was going for was this very disturbing-esque type movie. So very disturbing shots in there, weird shots too. It just reminds me of The Ring. And in the past on this channel, I've said that having a style over substance movie can hurt the movie, and that's exactly what it does to this movie. The way I could break this movie down is in its 3 acts, because I feel like the first act is very ineffective, and I was just wondering when we're gonna get to any of the meat of this movie. But then after the second act comes along, we get to where Dane DeHaan needs to be for most of the movie. That's where the movie picked up for me. It was kind of very intriguing. It was very mysterious about where this character was where this character was and what he was doing there. And I feel like that part of the movie was where it was the strongest. In the second act, where it felt like it was building and building and building to something, some big reveal, we get to the third act, and it's kind of a letdown. I could have really liked this movie, but the third act lets the movie down so much. It's not that it's a horrible ending by any means. It's just that it's a very familiar ending. We get a movie throughout its entirety that's so different from the rest of the movies that we've seen in a while. And we get to the third act, and it's just kind of like something that you would have seen in any horror movie or thriller movie. And it was just kind of a big letdown. It was so much build-up to just nothing. It does not help that this movie is horribly paced. Like I said, the first act is ineffective. The second act becomes really interesting. We want to see where these characters go. And then the third act, it's a letdown. In between all that, the pacing is just it's not there. I mean, it just feels like to me that the director had this vision of making this disturbing movie. And he gets it all right in the second act. And then he's just like, okay, let's fill in the dots. Let's just put in an ending and then put in a beginning. And that's what it really feels like. It feels a little disconjointed. The first act is ineffective, and then the third act is just, what the hell was that? I think this movie kind of clocks in around the 2 hours, 20-minute mark. I'm playing it safe. It could be longer, it could be less. 2 hours and 20 minutes. Wow. I mean, for what I saw in that theater, it could have ended at least 45 minutes before it actually did. Just take out all the scenes with where the story isn't being developed with all those disturbing imagery. You can still fit that in the story, and then finish the movie earlier. I mean, especially if you're gonna give me that ending. That ending was not worth the wait. It was not worth the 2 hour and 20-minute wait. Okay, I don't really have that much else to say about A Cure for Wellness. I do like Dane DeHaan. I do like the other performances. They do a very good job. The rest of the cast. The director had a good vision, and I kind of feel like he got it right in the second act, as I said before. If you were planning on seeing this movie, I still think you should go see it. I don't think that the ending ruins the movie. There's no chance that's what I mean here. From the way I see it, the ending could have been a lot more interesting. It could have been more consistent with the second act of the movie, because I feel like the third act just kind of feels like an ending for like a B horror movie. So that's just the way I feel about it. Okay, so all that being said, I'm going to give this movie a kind of very down the middle, a little more rating. It's a 5.8 for me. It's a movie that I enjoyed watching, I'll say that. I probably never watch it again. That's also what needs to be said. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like this review, please give it a like. If you're gonna go see A Cure for Wellness, or you already have seen it, tell me what you think in the comments below. Was I right? Was I not right? Is there something I left out? Yeah, let me know. Put all that jazz there in the bottom. Yeah, that's it for me. I'm Scuba Stitch. from the 5th row. I'm going.